All right, guys. So it's 9:32, and out of respect for Greg, we're gonna go ahead and get started because Greg is on time. If you're late, you're just late. There's plenty of times that I've been late. So he said, "Get it done and let's get the party started." And so we gotta respect him. We're gonna go ahead and get it started right here at 9:32. So good morning to everyone. Thank you all for getting on the call. My name is Marlo McLean. I'm out of Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm one of the probably senior agents here on Greg's team. I've been on here a good little while now, growing. And We also have other leaders on here who's growing their team. And so I'm one of the leaders of Greg's team. So it's a privilege to get on the phone with you guys. Greg is in Houston, representing the hitting team, representing us. And hopefully on our next couple of meetings, some of us can get there. I originally was going to go to Houston. I planned for last year, but then I had a wedding this month, and then my car worked out about $1,100 worth of maintenance. I said, okay, that sounds like a plane ticket to me. So got a little dent in that plan. But it's good to be able to know that we have trips now that COVID is slowing down. We have trips that's about to start coming up. We used to have team meetings every 3 months with the Financial Legacy Group, and that's where Greg is at. The Texas team has really blown up in the last 2 to 3 years, and so they've decided to have meetings in Texas as well. So as we grow, we already a core position in our team. North Carolina is a big part of the team. So we will have a meeting here in Charlotte. I want to say the next meeting is in Charlotte. Greg can get us those dates. So for everybody who's close enough to get to Charlotte, try to get to Charlotte. You know, if you can get here, it'll be a blessing to you. These meetings can be life changing. And reason being is because when you see other people doing this business and doing it great and doing it well, then you say to yourself, there's no reason why I can't do it to that same level. You know, you realize they're no different than you. The only thing they might have did is made a serious commitment to the business and to the opportunity and said, this is what I'm going to do. And that's one thing I've learned about this business. It's all about your commitment level on how fast or how slow you grow. Sometimes it is just how much time you're putting into the business. And sometimes we want full-time pay for part-time activity, you know, and we got to be very careful for that because we want that full-time pay, but we only putting in part-time work. And I've been in that position myself. Right now, I'm getting ready for double knee surgery. So I don't get to go out as much as I used to before COVID, door to door. So I am a telesales agent. I do go door to door if need be. Actually, I went out this year for the first time, about 3 times so far. But most of my business is over the phone. And that's the great thing about this business. You have flexibility. You're not stuck in one place. You're not stuck in one position. If you can go see the client, great. If not, you can get them right on the phone. You can do it during vacation. You can do it while you planning some things. I actually went to Atlanta for one of our Atlanta meetings, and while I was there, I was staying with my girlfriend who lives in Atlanta, and one of my old clients called and said, "Hey, I want to get my wife ready." And I was like, "Okay, when you want to do that?" He's like, "Right now." I was like, "Where your office at?" So I went to her office and wrote his wife and made that money right while I was on the trip, you know? So you can't beat that flexibility. Me and my husband was going to my class reunion last June, and a client called me while we was on the road. And he said, "Marlo, I'm ready to write my wife now." She was guaranteed issue because she had some health issues, so she didn't have to be on the phone. I wrote him on the road traveling. We stopped at the gas station when I had to do the actual voice recording because I did not want it to break up. And then they tell me, I had to redo it. So I stopped at the gas station, and in the car, I made sure that everything was clear, everything was off, car was off, and I wrote his wife. I made probably I think about $800 off of that one, driving to a trip. So that covered, it's between 7 and 800 because it's a pretty big policy. And I made that driving to a trip, which basically paid for the whole trip, you know? So just to know you have a great opportunity in your hands. And it's very important that we work this opportunity. I listen to a lot of motivated speakers. And one of the one I was listening to yesterday, um, David Dash, somebody was interviewing David Dash, one of big time producers and rap and all that kind of stuff. And he said, when you have an opportunity, the best way to show appreciation is to take action. The best way to show appreciation for an opportunity is take action on it. So that was very profound to me. So today we're going to talk about some action takers, our sales. We're going to open up with our sales today. And looking at the top producers for the week, we know we got this one young lady on fire. She just came in hot as fire, like a freight train, Miss Katie Jarvis. And she showed out last week, and then this week on the phones again, she showed out. Katie ended the week at $8,588.29. So I know we all on silent, but give Katie a hand clap, but she is doing her thing. She is on fire. And you know, you gotta push it. Push it. Mr. Gary Blazer, who is a door-to-door agent, he loves to get out there with the clients. Mr. Gary Blazer ended the week with $2,560.68. So we give him a hand clap because he's always hustling. Mr. Gary, I call him Blazing Gary Blazer, because it is never time that Mr. Gary is not on it. From the time he got here to now, he is still on it. Mr. Gary is a preacher, so he's a very busy man, but he's also a husband, a father, and I think, I don't want to put no age on Mr. Gary, but he's a little up there in age, but he got more hustle than some of us younger people. So I honor Mr. Gary all the time because he's a hustler and he loves helping families. So the other big dog just came in, it's John Roberson. And his sales for the week was $1,631.64. And that's the third one. And then number 4, Miss Rebecca out of Alabama, $1,376.88. Let me give Rebecca and John a hand clap. I want to miss giving John his hand clap, and Mr. Gary. And then Miss Susie out of California. I would tear Susie last name up, so I'm not gonna mess up that. I'm from Georgia, I'm a little country, y'all, so if y'all can hear it. But Susie hit $1,070.64 for the week. And y'all give all our top producers a hand clap. Anytime you're doing any sales that midweek, the end of the first of the week and midweek, their sales tend to drop a little bit, but these top producers letting us know that the sales are out there. We just got to go get them. We got to go get them. And we're going to talk a little bit about going to get it and what it takes to be successful in this business. You know, everybody grow this business at their own pace. Some people grow fast, some people grow slow. I used to be in another company, wellness company, and when you came in on fast, they call you a pace setter because you set the pace for everybody else. Obviously, you know, Katie and John is coming in on fire, and they setting the pace, so they're showing that this thing could be done. Rebecca, Susie, they showing that it can be done. Most of them are always on the leaderboard. Mr. Gary is a pace setter, been a pace setter since he's been here. And he's showing us that it can be done, guys. It's just a matter of how much time and commitment we put into our business. And this is your business. You know, I want to encourage everyone. This is your business. No one can work it for you. No one can tell you how to do it. Nobody can push you. Only thing we can do is encourage you and push you, but nobody can make you get up out the bed. I remember when I first started, one of the ladies was saying the hardest thing to do is get up out the bed and get out that front door, especially if you're a door-to-door agent. That's the hardest thing to do. Get up and get out the door. Once you get out the door, the business start working itself. You'll start talking to people. You'll start getting to your clients. You'll start seeing people at the gas station. And the business will just be like a roller coaster. But you got to get up and get out the door. And that's the hardest part when you're doing door to door. When you're on the phones, the hardest part is getting on that phone, getting your mindset to say, I got to get on the phone by 9 o'clock. I got to be on the phone no later than 10 o'clock. No matter what I got to do, I got to work this thing as a business, as a job, so to pay me as a business. I had a manager long time ago. He said, if you work this as a job, just the same amount of hours you put in a regular job, it will pay you like a business. And the thing about it being paying you like a business means unlimited income. Unlimited income. So there is no limit to what you can make. How fast you make it is up to you, but there's no limit to what we have people. If you go to this Houston meeting, some of the numbers that they're gonna be praising people for are astronomical. It's like, how in the world they do that? Because they just put in a not a little bit more effort, but a lot more effort. They just really went all in, 2 feet in. And so I want to briefly just talk real quickly about, what it kind of takes to be successful and to endure in this business, because this is a business. This is not an hourly wage job. No one is paying you to be here. You pay yourself to be here. No one is giving you a specific check. This is not an hourly wage. It's up to you to decide how much you feel like you're worth. So if you say I'm worth $100 an hour, you got to go get that $100. You say I'm worth $500 an hour, you got to go get it. Nobody's going to tell you how much you can make. I have made $1,000 an hour. I've written about 2 or 3 policies where I made $1,000. I ain't never had no job, baby. I've had some decent jobs, but I ain't never had a job pay me $1,000 an hour. Okay, that's when you know you in a business, because a business does not limit your income. A job will always limit your income. A job has a cap. Some people been in jobs so long they get it at a certain point, they capped out. They've been there 20 years, 30 years, they capped out. They will never make more than 80,000. They will never make more than 70,000. They'll never make more than 100,000 because the job is capped out. In this business, we have people coming in on fire, seeing the whole opportunity for what it is. And they're saying, I'm not going to limit myself. I'm going to make, $100,000 a year. I'm going to make $200,000 a year. I'm going to make 500,000. I'm going to make 600. A lot of people got the mindset of a millionaire. One of these days, I'm going to be a millionaire. In this company, if you apply yourself, you take your time, you put the right efforts in, you can be a millionaire in this company. Senior Life has created a lot of millionaires, and you can be one of them. It's really up to you to make that decision. Are you going to do the hard work that it takes to do it? Because it is going to be hard work. Anything that comes easy goes easy. Anything that comes hard stays, and you keep it. So I was wanting to just briefly talk about the system. I know y'all always hear people say stick to the system. They always say, if you read through any of the scoops, they say apply the system. They'll say just follow the system. It's like, what is the system? What is the system they talking about? So Senior Life has created a system from the very beginning that they know work. And y'all heard Greg talk about it several times. And that system is Monday through Wednesday, bare minimum Wednesday. Sometimes you got to go Thursday and Friday if you didn't get the sales that you wanted Monday through Wednesday. Monday through Wednesday, you are focusing on your sales. You are focusing on yourself. You are getting your leads. You could buy leads, or you could go out there and knock on doors and find you some leads. Now, buying leads will help you a lot if you don't have the time to get out there and go door to door. Like me, I got double knee surgery. I'm not going on knocking on doors like I used to. I used to knock on doors. So now I buy leads because leads are quicker. These are customers that you can't necessarily say they're serious, they're curious, and it's up to us to make them serious. So leads are not every lead is going to buy. About 70% don't buy. But if you can get your close ratio up to at least 30, between 25 and 30% of your leads buying, you will make bare minimum $100,000 a year if you buy enough leads. So leads correlates directly to how much money you make. And your goal is, because when I first start, you say when you first start, it's like driving a car. So when you first start, you may not close as many. When you first start with your leads, because you're still learning what to say, how to say it. You're still trying to learn this business. And so when you first start, maybe you're not an expert yet. But anything you do long enough, you will get better at it. You know, nobody comes into like a basketball player. He don't come out his mother womb knowing how to shoot free throws, being an expert. But as he do it long enough, he becomes an expert. The same thing like driving a car. You drive a car, the longer you drive that car, the better you get. Now, a lot of people hear me say that, you know, after a while, you drive so good that you become a drunk. You be like that drunk who don't know how he drove himself home, right? So we all the same way, but it all becomes a system. So I'm just going to mention that because a lot of people say every day we talk about leads, only because leads is the foundation of the business. If you don't have nobody to talk to, guys, there's no way you can make no money. Now, if you don't have leads, because I didn't always start with leads, you got to go find you some leads. You got to go door knocking. You got to find you a nice neighborhood that you can knock on the door. You go to some senior living complexes, knock on those doors. You can actually go out and, you know, give out your cards at gas stations. I used to do all of that. I used to drum up business. But if you also buy leads, you also know that one lead can lead you to a neighborhood that you never knew anything about. And even though that one lead don't buy, if you find one person in that neighborhood to buy, it already covered that lead. So it doesn't matter. But this normally, if you go in a neighborhood, you can knock on several doors while you're in that neighborhood. You can drum up 2 or 3 policies off of that one lead just because you went out there and you did the activity. You knocked on the doors and you talked to people. So activity makes money. You know, leads help lead to the activity, but it's the activity that make the money. Okay. So that's the system. You buy one from Monday to Wednesday, you want to be working your leads. Now, if you want to build, then Thursday and Friday, you want to start working on training your people. And then on Friday, you want to start working on recruiting. But until you get to the point of building, then you want to work Monday through Friday to get your sales up, because you want to get your sales up so that people want to help you. People want to follow you as you start building your team. Okay. So the system is work your business to the max, Monday through Wednesday if you want to be a builder, Monday through Friday if you want to be a producer. Saturday and Sunday is really your family time. Senior Life don't mind you taking that time off for your family. I know some agents, they take Friday off, because they already don't got most of their sales out the way, the volume that they want to do by Friday. So really you work your business according to what you think you need. Okay. But you got to push it, because if you're not doing any activity, you're not going to make no money. There's some days I'll be thinking to myself, I got to get on the phones. I got to get on the phone. You got to push yourself to get on those phones, and you got to push yourself to talk. Me and Rebecca the other day, she gave me a testimony. We went back, she went over some old leads and got appointments just like that. But she had to make the calls. She had to make the calls. Didn't that work for you yesterday, Rebecca? You on mute? I think you're on mute. I think you're on mute. I don't have the ability to unmute her, guys. I can tell she's talking, but I don't know how to tell her she's on mute. But either way, either way, all you got to do is, I don't know if Larry can take her off of mute if he's on there, but either way, we know that these are the things that we got to do. Katie is getting on that phone. Katie is getting on that phone regularly, and she's committed to making, I think the last time Katie spoke, she told her friends she's going to make $500,000 in a year. Katie, will you come off and tell us a little bit about your mission?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Well, whenever I started this thing, I guess probably like a lot of other people, just kind of unhappy what I was doing. And John and I have known each other for a long time, and he was the one who, gave me this opportunity as far as just telling me about it. And he actually told me about it for a while, and I didn't really want to listen to him. And then I finally did, and gave it a shot. And, I think at the end of the day, if, as far as everybody kind of glorifies, Bianca and David and what they've done, and they've done an amazing thing. But like, if they can do it, there's no reason that anybody else can't do it. And it just all comes down to, your work ethic and your mindset. And so, I mean, I was telling John that earlier, we talked, and, I think like right now, as far as all the writing agents in Senior Life, I'm 13th. And I was like, there's no reason why I can't be number one, why I can't get there. And I think at the end of the day, it's just all about your drive and your determination. And I just want to do something, that special. And I know for a fact I can get there. So I think at the end of the day, it's just my mindset, and, just the sense of accomplishment and enjoying what I do. Because at the end of the day too, I was talking to my brother actually yesterday, and telling him, I was like, what, I don't ever dread getting up in the morning and doing this. Like, it's fun. It's challenging at times, but it is and it isn't, because you have to overcome those objections and those people. And but at the end of the day, it is fun. And when you can make even if you make $500 a day, like, how many jobs out there are people making $500 a day? Like, there's not. So I think, the possibilities with this opportunity are really endless, and your income, there's really no limit to it. It all comes down to you. So I think that's just kind of where I am. And like I said, I'm new. This is my second full month doing it, and I'm just not letting my foot off the gas. So
I do love the fact that you say
Good job.
you're not gonna let your foot off the gas. And that is the key. I had one girl, she used to say, put your foot on the gas, Marlo, push it. A friend of mine used to say, push that, don't pump the brakes, push the gas. So that's what this business is all about. You got to be willing to invest in yourself. I love the way you invest in yourself. No way you writing that much business without investing in yourself. So that's a great thing. And but like I said, it's all about your activity and your hustle. I see, Rebecca, you off now. You unmuted. So tell us about a little bit of your hustle yesterday.
Yes, I finally got off unmute. Coincidental.
That's all right.
I just when I first got the leads, I worked the leads. I think they might have been some older leads, and then I started doing something else, and I kind of like put those leads on the back burner, so to speak. And then yesterday, I just kind of thought about it. Why don't I just call, some of these people that I didn't catch, or some of them that I left a sticky note and they didn't call back. And to my surprise, I set 3 appointments, one for today and 2 for Monday. So
all right.
I'm kind of surprised by that. And so instead of me, doing some of the things I've done, I think what I'll do is I'll go back and I'll just work the area where the leads are. Even if I don't get that person, I still can work that area. And I'm also anticipating ordering new leads, because, the new leads probably work a whole lot better than those old leads will.
Well, that's awesome. The key to it is that you putting the activity in. You got on the phones, you start calling people, and you started, you got the mindset to go work the neighborhood. I was taught many years ago, for every neighborhood, there's $2,000 in every neighborhood. It's up to us to go find it. Wherever that $2,000 is, when we go into that neighborhood, you got to say, hey, it's $2,000 in this neighborhood. I got to find it. You don't know which customer going to buy. You don't know who's going to buy, who's not. So our job is just to connect with everybody in that neighborhood. And I love the fact that you went back over your leads, which is important, because we need to be going back and checking on these leads. If you didn't get them that first time, that's okay. Sometimes you got to just follow back up with people, especially on the phones. There's a lot of follow-up going on the phones. you got to follow up. So, you know, that's all part of the system. And the other mentality of the system is, like I said, once you get your sales up, I love how Katie is full-fledged on her sales every day. Susie, all of our newcomers are fired up. Some of us older ones, we just got to get that fire burning. We gotta remember that we like the little choo-choo train that could. We gotta keep saying, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. And then as you start saying that to yourself, you start putting the activity to it, you will see that you can. I always think about the little choo-choo train that could. You know, he's struggling to get up that hill, but once he get up it, it's just coasting, baby. And it's gonna be some coasting days coming for us, but you gotta put in the work. And Henry Ford said, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. He said, either way, you're right. Because you're the one making the decision. So either way, you're right. So I love the way Katie said, there's no reason she can't outdo Bianca. Go, Katie, go. Because Bianca is a bad girl. So you got to put North Carolina on the map and go get Bianca. That would be awesome. But you got to have that in your own mindset. There's no reason we can't outdo David Price. David Price came in and became a millionaire with Singing Life in 3 years. That's the fastest anyone has ever done it. But the opportunity is so great now. So the other thing is sticking and staying, guys. The importance of building this business is to stick and stay. I was listening to one other motivated speaker. He said, everybody now wants microwave success. He said, but success does not come without work. Matter of fact, Eric Thomas said that. He said the only time success comes before work is in the dictionary. Think about that. Why? Because success is S and work is W. But that's all in the dictionary just because of alphabet. But when it comes down to real success, work got to come before success. So as we put in that work, we're going to get the success that we want. So just be willing to put in the work. Be willing to stick and stay. This is not get rich quick, guys. But if you stay in it long enough, you start building a foundation. It's like building a house. The foundation got to be real strong for that house to stay up or the house to fall. But the same thing with this business. You build your good, strong foundation, get your good leads, get out there and go see the people, go talk to the people, go do what you got to do. And before you know it, you will have something sustainable. And then as you keep building, it just goes and goes and goes. When you got people who used to make $8,000 an hour, and now they're making $50,000 a month, or $100,000 a month, or $20,000 a month, when they used to make 8, 10, that lets you know this business is unlimited. So I would encourage everybody to really set your goals. You know, as we get ready to go into with the first quarter is over, we still got 3 more quarters to go. Set your goals. Write down your goal. What do you want to do in this next quarter? And then find out what you got to do to get there. If you need to talk with your leader about what you need to do as far as your sales and what it takes for you to get to that next level, talk with your leader. Let them know that you are serious about building a real business. You know, let your leader know that you're serious about building a real business. And they all been here long enough. Greg, Larry, Franz, John Barwell, all of us, myself, we've been here long enough to be able to show you what it takes to do it. But all of it is all about your own activity, because no one can make you work. You know, I'm sure John don't have to call Katie and say, get up and make your calls. She's totally self-driven. Now, entrepreneur is different from just going to work. Because to be an entrepreneur, which that's what we're entrepreneurs, you have to be self-motivated and self-driven. And so the key to success in this business is, first of all, having a system, focusing on the system, staying true to the system, learning how to stick and stay. Don't jump out the boat too fast. Give yourself time to grow. And then the last thing is building. So once you start getting your own sustainability and you start getting your sales up, then you can start reaching out and sharing with others the opportunity. Because this is a great opportunity. And people are being fired every day and they're looking for new opportunities. Some people never got their jobs back during COVID. not the income they were used to. So this is a great opportunity. Now it's 10:01. Our time is up, but before I go, I do want to touch bases with you all and ask you all, do y'all have any specific questions that you like to ask me or ask the team? Did you go through anything this week? Do you have any questions about anything that we can support you in?
Hello.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Benny. I'm a new agent. I just started this week. I bought some Facebook
All
leads.
right, go, Penny. Glad to have you on
So
the team there, sir.
thank you, ma'am. And I've called the leads, and I'm getting people on the phone, and then they say call me back at 10:30, 11:30, or whatever. I'm busy right now, So I'm like, I call them back, and then they don't answer. So like,
Uh,
what? Is my presentation wrong, or like what should I be doing like initially to get somebody to stay or to commit to a appointment?
Okay. Well, sometimes people really are busy. And if they are that busy, they're not paying attention to you no way. So if you try to talk to them and they're that busy, they're not going to. So it's okay to have to reschedule if you can. But if you can't, if you feel like, say, well, sir, it will just take just a few minutes. If you got a moment, let us go ahead and let me go ahead and go over this and get you this free information that you requested. It won't take that long. Um, won't take but a few minutes. And a lot of times, if they serious, they'll stay on the line. Now you can't make somebody be serious, but if they serious enough, they'll stay on the line and let you get the free information. A lot of times, I'll say, "Well, this is the free information that you called about," and they start to talk like, "Well, I got to get off the phone." Well, I just want to let you know about our legacy insurance plan where we can lock in your casket, your vault, and your headstone for only $4,000. We're gonna save your family thousands on funeral costs. So that's gonna get their attention enough to at least be ready to get another call back from you or stay on the line. Well, I do got a few minutes, you know. So if they start acting like they want to pull off real quick, I at least throw that in there to make they'll hold their attention long enough to get them to either say this is worth my time to go ahead and stack. I know John and Katie and some of the other ones may have a different thing, but everybody's not going to actually write that day. A lot of times when you're on the phone, you do have to follow up with people. So don't let that be a discouraging thing for you, because sometimes you have to follow up. You have to call them back 2 or 3 times. Not everyone write that day. But if you can get them to write, if they're real serious, um, then they will be able to write. Facebook leads are not the same as live transfer leads. Live transfer, they have asked to speak to an agent. So that means they are more on fire and ready than any other lead. So you being new, if you can get some live transfers, I would not turn them away, even though you got to pay for them out your pocket. Those are going to be the most those customers are going to have the highest intent. Okay, because it's always the intent of the customer. So that's why that lead costs $55 because they have the highest intent. Okay, if the lead only costs about $20, that means they kind of like that lukewarm customer, but you can still get them over the hump as you educate them. You see what I'm saying? As you let them know what you're here for. I'm here to help you, help your family, get this plan in place so your family's not struggling, so your family will have what they need when the time of loss comes, when your death comes. And when they realize that you're sincere, a lot of times they get to like it. Benny, you said your name was Benny?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, they'll say, you know what, Benny, I like you guys. Give me a call back. Okay, I'm serious. Call me back. And then when you know after about the third or fourth call, sometimes I call up to 7 times. If I got a little free time, I call up to 7 times because I was told as a telephone agent, you may have to call a few more times because sometimes they are busy. I mean, you could door knock them if they're close enough to you. You can door knock them. But if they're not, then you just have to try to catch them again. But just don't let 1 or 2 discourage you that they're not going to, that those leads are not going to add up. Just like Rebecca said earlier, she went back and called some leads that she got 2 months ago, right? Now she got 3 appointments. She could have said, well, bunk it. These people don't want to do nothing. I ain't wasting my time with these folks. I'm not even going to waste my time to call them back. But that's one thing that I heard that Bianca does. Bianca calls her old leads back too. She calls new and old leads. You ain't hitting 40,000, 50,000 a month without calling new and old leads. Bianca called everybody that got, if you got a telephone, Bianca go call you. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta be ready to make those calls. So don't let one person, 2 or 3 people discourage you, Benny. Don't give up on this, okay? Just call them back. Say, hey, when is the best time for you? Because I want to catch you when it's a time that we can talk and you can really focus on this. I know you're busy right now because a lot of people respect the fact that you respect their time. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
okay, I respect your time. So when is the best time for you? Now, this is the way you set your appointment. You say, well, I have Thursday and Friday open. Will Thursday and Friday work? Well, yeah, I think Friday work. Okay, would that be morning or afternoon for you? Don't just let them be thinking. Guide them to the appointment. Okay? I have Thursday, Friday open. Which one is best for you? Thursday, Friday? Yeah, well, Friday is good. Okay, what about morning, afternoon? Which one's better? I can get you in the morning, afternoon. Which better? Okay, afternoon after 12. Okay, after 12. And then you call them. Okay? I just don't want you to get discouraged because everybody is not ready right then. Some of them are just curious. But if it don't matter when you get them, Ben, if you get them 2 years from now, you still got your money.
Right.
You still have that family, you got your money. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I've had people call 2 years later, I get them. I don't care when I get the money, as long as I get the money. As long as I help that family. Have the mentality. And then when you talk to your client, just tell them you may not get $1 million in coverage. You may not leave your family with $1 million, but just don't leave them begging with a bill and a burden. Don't leave them with the bad bees. Leave them with the good bees. Leave them with a blessing. Okay. Last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let Katie, who's killing the game all the time, but most of hers are live transfers. Katie, do you ever get anybody who's all of a sudden now they don't have time to talk?
Well, yeah, like I said, I'm just working live transfers right now. But not everybody. I mean, yesterday I had 2 people back to back that were, one guy was cussing me out. He called me and was cussing me out, and then another guy refused to give his date of birth. And a lot of those people, I beat myself up for it, and I tell John this all the time because I think I should close every person I talk to, and I sure as hell try to close every person I talk to. But there's some people too that you're not gonna get. And sometimes even if I feel like I'm getting the beat around with someone or that they don't really care, maybe for Benny, I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, but I think you said Benny. If someone doesn't want to talk at the time, it doesn't hurt to ask them like, hey, is this so important to you? I definitely don't want to waste your time. I have a lot of people I need to help. So if this is something that you want to receive the information on that you requested, I'd be glad to do so. But if not, it's okay. Just let me know, because then that kind of prevents you too. It makes them kind of takes that wall down from them where they don't feel as much pressure. And some people you're not going to be able to talk to. But I too, on Facebook leads, I've gotten a few that actually have never been able to contact, and I'll send them something in the mail, like a legacy brochure, or write up in a little email or something, print it off, and just go over the savings that we can have. And because at that point, what's an extra 50 cents that you're going to send with a stamp, and you may or may not ever talk to them again, but it's definitely worth a try if they're not nearby. If they're nearby, then like Marlo said, you could knock on their door if you have time to do that. But every opportunity it is the law of large numbers. You might have some days where everybody tells you no, but then that next day everybody says yes. So you just got to keep working it and not treat the next person like the last person. So even if you've been beaten up 20 times, just make sure that every person you talk to, you're going to assume that you're going to sell them. So it's all about mindset. I think that plays as big a role as anything. But like I said, I'm still learning myself. So
The key to it is mindset. You cannot let anybody change your mindset of success. So, they said it like, I remember one time, when I was told, like, it's 52 cards in a deck of cards. But in that deck of cards, there's some big jokers, and it's a big joker, little joker, it's, some aces in there and kings. Those all you need to win the hand. You don't need all those other cards to win the hand. So all you looking for is the big joker, little joker, those aces, the kings. Sometimes you win on a jack too. Sometimes you can win on a queen. So you never know where the win is at. But you still got to play every hand. So that's why I want to just encourage you all to keep pushing your business. Don't give up. I just bought a lead the other day. And this was off the Leads the Waitlist TV lead. It's a wrong number. Now, we don't really get too much credit for wrong numbers, but she's local. I'm going to go door knock her. And if she don't do anything, I'm gonna write her neighbor. Because I've been out a many times where I bought the lead and I wrote the neighbor. I never wrote the lead, but I wrote the neighbor. I don't care who I write, as long as I write somebody. And that's what y'all gotta have the mentality. It don't matter who you write, as long as you write somebody. You might get to that neighborhood, don't write nobody in the neighborhood, go down the street to the gas station, give out a couple of cards like I've done, and write somebody from the gas station. This license give you a license to print money. You can help anybody. I've written at least 4 or 5 people that I met at the gas station. Don't be a secret agent, guys. That's the number one thing. Don't be a secret agent. I had an agent tell me a long time ago, if you are a strawberry patch and people are looking for strawberries, they need to know that you are the strawberry patch that they need to come to. They don't need to go down the street. They don't need to look everywhere else. They need to come to you because you're a strawberry patch. If they don't, they will go to somebody else because they are looking for strawberries. So you are the person. Everybody needs to know that you sell life insurance. From your family, your friends, everybody at the gas station, everybody needs to know what you do. Don't be a secret agent. Okay, so the system is get your leads, go to work, guys, stick and stay. And when you're ready to build, start working on the building of a team. That's the system, okay? But the most important thing is activity, activity, activity. Activity leads to dollars. I mean, that's the key. All activity leads to dollars. It's like a farmer. You got to plant the seed first in order to get a harvest. But you don't never plant, you never get the harvest. And it's like I had one agent. When I first started, I got my license early, like Kate. I was in my early 20s, and I had one of the senior agents tell me, it's just like sending out ships. As you send out ships, you talk to people and you make those calls, and you do whatever you got to do to build that activity. It's like sending out ships. After a while, those ships got to come back home to dock. But if you ain't sent nothing out, ain't nothing gonna come back to dock. But if you sent something out, then eventually something gonna come back to dock. Just like Rebecca went out and knocked on those, made those calls. She got 3 appointments. One of them gonna buy. Okay, probably one or two gonna buy. We hoping for at least bare minimum. You always say, especially if you door to door, 1 out of 3 will buy. Over the phones, sometimes 1 out of 3, 1 out of 5 will buy. So you don't never think every single person gonna buy. Because if you think that, you'll quit. I don't want nobody quitting. I want y'all to stay motivated and push your business forward. Okay? Anybody else got any more questions?
Yes, I have one comment, Marlo.
Okay.
Good
Hey,
morning.
Katina.
Hey, good morning.
That's our Florida queen. So don't move to Florida.
Thank you, thank you. I just want to give Benny some words of encouragement. I had a guy that I had been trying to sell life insurance for. He kept telling me he wanted it, and then when I would call him and he would give me the runaround and, oh, Katina, I got this going on. Hey, I can't afford it right now. And I'm just so busy because he had a business. And I said, well, you reached out to me and you expressed the interest, and I'm just doing my due diligence as your community agent to help you protect your family. I said, so until you tell me no, or Katina don't call me no more, then you can expect, a follow-up call from me. And what I did, I just periodically reached out to him like once a month or every 3 months or once a year when it got to the point where it was getting very, repetitive, but I stayed persistent. And long story short, after 5 years, we wrote his policy in 2020, right before the pandemic. And do you know I got an email this week that he passed away the end of March at the age of 53 years young.
Wow.
And it just broke my heart because I knew the journey we had been on, and he was sickly. We had been on a journey of trying to get him insured, and we finally wrote his policy, and his family had protection. And that right there was the most rewarding thing for me. So if you just stay true to your purpose and your motive for what we're out here to do, to protect families, then you'll be successful at this. Don't waste your time on the people that's, telling you stories. Oh, call me back at 5 o'clock and they're not picking up the phone. You move on. Don't waste your energy. You just keep pushing because, like we always say, it's the law of all numbers. Activity, like Marlo said, is what's going to help us protect these families, get these policies written, and in that way, these families will come back later and thank us for our hard work and our persistency and our passion for what we do. So I
Yeah.
just wanted to give him that, those words, because I know it's tough, when you get rejected and people giving you the run around. You just keep pushing, you keep pressing forward and move on to the
Yeah.
next league.
Well, our goal is just to help as many families we can help, guys. Thank God you was persistent with him. Continue. You never just totally let him, go, because otherwise his family would have been stuck with a bill and a burden.
Yes,
But because of your diligence, they, eventually he got the plan, and I'm assuming that kept paying for it, and now the
yes,
family is straight, which is awesome. You're gonna get 1 or 2 calls, guys. I've got them several times. You're gonna get a call from the family and say, did my mama, did my daddy, did my brother get a plan with you? Cause they gonna see your information there that they had, cause they gonna keep everything you sent them. Did you drop by and you leave them, and they're gonna be, did you leave? Did they get something? You're gonna have to say yes or no. If they were responsible, you'll say yes. And they're gonna be, oh, great, great. I'm so happy I can get this done. Or you're gonna be like some of the calls I've got. I don't know, what are we gonna do? I don't know what we're gonna do. And it's the saddest call you can get as an agent, is when somebody call you to say that their family get it and they did not get it. But at the same time, you did your due diligence, you did your part, you try to help that family get with the coverage that they need, and you cannot make people be responsible. Only thing you could do is just give them the opportunity to get this protection in place for them and their family. So just know what you have in your hands is important. Okay? What you have in your hands is important. This license is important. It's gonna make a difference. When loss comes, and death is gonna come to all of us, when it comes, what you did for that family is gonna make a world of difference. So don't let nobody discourage you in your business and what you're doing. Okay. So I just want to say thank you all for getting on the call today. Thank all of those who had something was able to participate. Kate and Rebecca, and I don't know if any of the other leaders on the call, France or Larry, want to say anything. I see John Barwell. But if you all have anything to say, please do now. If anybody else have any questions, please do now before we close out. And if not, then we'll close out. Anyone have anything else? We want to give everybody room, get the floor to anybody want to speak. No? All right. Well, it's a time for everything to end. So it's time for this meeting to end. So thank you all for showing up, participating. I hope you learned something. I hope you're encouraged. I had one thing of encouragement I wanted to say. Let me see this one story that said, not yesterday, 2 days ago, I had to take my son to work. And I dropped him off at a Wendy's. I told Rebecca about that. This man took my order over the phone. When I got to that window, this little man had oxygen on his nose, an oxygen pack on his back. And he was taking orders, handing out food, and giving money with oxygen. I told him, I said, you a bad boy. Because I used to be in food service, and I know that my drive-through person had to be the fastest one in the building. So he's on oxygen. And Wendy's is one of the fastest drive-throughs you can go time-wise. He's on oxygen, got oxygen on, and he's running a Wendy's drive-through. And I was so inspired by him. And I like, if this man cannot give up on life and keep pushing, why can't we push our businesses? So I want to encourage you all to push your business to the next level. Don't let nothing or nobody stop you or tell you what you can't do. So go help some families this weekend. Get ready for next week. Get a game plan together. Get your leads together, and go make you some money and build your business. All right. You all have a great day and a great weekend. And thank you all for coming to the meeting today. God bless now. Bye-bye, everyone.
Have a blessed day, everyone.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks, Marlo.
Have a great weekend. Enjoy your family, enjoy your weekend. All them
Thank
weekend
you, y'all
warriors gonna
too.
make you some money helping families. I'm gonna try to be one myself. I got at least one to write, hopefully. Y'all have a great weekend. Bye-bye.